Now I want to tell you about two special guests who are going to be talking about a statewide activity which is called the Ships on the Shoreline Celebration, which is coming to this state on the 15th through the 27th of this month. With me is Don Callender. He's the Executive Director of the Greater Wilmington Convention and Visitors Bureau, who will handle the publicity statewide for this celebration, and Malcolm MacKenzie, who is skipper for the Delmarva Safe Sailing Association, and he's organized a sail-to-sail salute for the tall ships. Gentlemen, welcome to Focus Delaware.
Evening, Bob.
Don, tell us basically who organized this and who's involved in Ships to Shoreline.
Well, it's a real task force, Bob. The Delaware River and Bay Shoreline Committee under Lee Rodell formed a subcommittee which is chaired by former Mayor John Babiars, and it's made up of over 50 organizations statewide, municipalities, community groups, etc. And it's a real demonstration how Delawareans can get together and put on a spectacular festival. And I think that this is going to be the biggest thing we do in the decade of the 80s.
Don, tell us briefly, what's going to be happening when these tall ships come to the Delaware waters?
There's a lot, Bob. I don't know whether I can do it justice in the few moments we have here, but starting on the 15th of June, we'll have the tall ships arriving from, racing up from Venezuela. Some of them will be going into the port of Lewis, and there'll be a festival there, a ship's welcome for the crews and the officers, and the community is really going to put on a real display of international friendship for these great ships that have come in from all over the world. Then coming up to June the 16th, the ships will begin moving up towards Philadelphia, where they're going for the tricentennial celebrations in that city, and they'll be passing Delaware shores, and we're going to have a series of ships watches at Augustine Beach, Fort Delaware, up at Fox Point Park, as well as any other place you can glance at the ships going up the river, and we have some of the best places to see them. On the 16th, the Young America, which is a training vessel for the Girl Scouts, will be coming into Wilmington, and that will be open to the public on the evening of the 16th. We also will have announcements going out over the radio as to where the ships will be along the river. And Malcolm, of course, is going to have this spectacular sail-to-sail salute of local watercraft and yachts in his association going out to greet the ships. And it should be a really fine thing. And then on the 21st, Omerlanden, which is right down on Route 9, just below the National Guard rifle range there, is going to have a farewell to tall ships. And then on the 26th and 27th, Delaware City's having a short ship festival featured around the Pride of Baltimore, a Baltimore clipper ship, and a number of smaller historic watercraft from the Delaware and Chesapeake Bays.
Malcolm,
there's a lot going on.
How did he remember to say all that?
Don is very much involved in this, and he's been working with us, and this committee has been together now for almost 6 months with all these arrangements. And there's so many sites for this Ships on the Shoreline Watch that it's a very, very well organized event. It will be a big show.
Well, you won't be on the shoreline. You'll be involved with the sail-to-sail salute. Can anyone with a boat participate in that?
I have a flotilla of boats in the Delmarva Safe Sailing Association, and anybody with power or sail is welcome to join us out there. We're going to do maneuvers. We're going to dip the colors and salute the ships, and we really would like people to join us. You can call us on a telephone number 655-6614. That's Delmarva Safe Sailing Association. Our most important thing out there is to be sure that everybody's safe. Stay clear of the channel. When you're watching the ships, be sure you're steering your own boat and not running into somebody, and watch the rules of the road very carefully.
Those are words of advice I think we should all follow. Anyway, I'll be on the shore. I'm a landlubber. I'll be watching you, along with Don.
Sure. You're coming out to our watch point.
Where's our watch point, Don?
It's going to be out at Cherry Island, and it's a restricted area just for press and media. It's a very small site, but we thought we'd get the cameras and media people out there so they could see the ships passing right offshore.
Now, Don, you brought some slides of the tall ships. You want to show that to us
Sure.
now?
Well, Malcolm and I will give you a running dialogue of what we have here, if they could roll the slides.
Okay, we'll see that in a second.
Okay, here's what the ships look like in the old days, and this is really where the tall ships come from. At one time, this is the way people moved commerce and cargoes and around the world. It was a rough life, as you can see in that picture, men working the deck in the storm.
Men were men.
Men were real men at this time, and of course the navies of the world today use these ships for training their crews. There's a schooner type of ship will be coming up the Delaware Bay for the celebrations, like the Blue Nose from Canada. Here's some skipjacks from the Chesapeake Bay. The Flora Price will be coming up along with a number of others from the Chesapeake Bay. These are the boats used for dredging oysters even today. And of course here's a larger vessel, the type that you'll be seeing on the Delaware River. I can't tell from that picture which one that is, but it's typical of the tall ships. Of course, here's the Coast Guard Eagle, which will be the flagship for these celebrations. Rumor has it the governor's going to be on board journeying up to Philadelphia.
He's quite a sailor, I understand.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And of course, here's another one of the vessels that'll be coming up, and you can see they're quite spectacular.
Yes.
This is something that you may only see once in your lifetime. Young America that I mentioned will be coming to the Port of Wilmington. This is crewed by some 26 Girl Scouts, and that'll be in the Port of Wilmington on the 16th. Mal, you want to say anything?
That's the Esmeralda, which is from Chile. She's one of the lead ships in the tall ship. She's a Class A. There's 9 Class A ships in the race. This is the way to look on the waterfront with a lot of the boats surrounding them. That's why we suggest that you keep away from the channel and let the ships go through.
It's another shot. This is Op Sail 80 in Boston. When they had the tall ships in Boston, you can see all the people clustering around there. It's really important people stay out of the channel.
This is one of our ships that'll be in the welcoming fleet. This won an award at our big dinner the other month, and she's a 34 Seidelman. This will be our flagship. She's a 47-foot Voyager, and she'll be giving the signals for the maneuvers in the river. And we'll follow the ships up as they dock.
And of course, when they dock, this is what it'll look like, and it'll sort of be a scene out of the 19th century when hundreds of these ships were along in our ports, and of course we'll have fireworks up in Philadelphia and down at Omerlanden when the ships leave, go back down the river. Of course, Bob, you're holding up a picture of the Providence, which is a gun sloop coming into the Delaware River during Tall Ships Festival. It's the ship that, or a replica of the ship that John Paul Jones sailed.
Well, now this picture that I'm holding now, I understand, will be part of a exhibition at Delaware Trust. Is that correct?
Right. There's going to be a series of these frame paintings that Delaware Trust will have on display for the tall ships. Now, there's the Krusenstern. That's from Russia. She will not be here, I guess, for diplomatic reasons, but it's one of the most spectacular ships, although there'll be others like her coming up the river.
She's too deep to get up into the Philadelphia Channel.
Yeah, the mast is too high.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, Don, if people want to find out more about the ships on the Shoreline festivities, who should they contact?
Okay, they should get in touch with our Convention Visitors Bureau. We have a 24-hour answering phone. The number is 571-4088. They can also call the Delaware State Travel Service in Dover, and that is 800-282-8667. That's a toll-free number. We also have a little newsletter which we are putting out, and by calling those 2 numbers, we'll be happy to mail it to you. Just give us your name and address, and we'll send it out to you, and it tells you all about the tall ships. The News Journal will also be having a tabloid coming out on the 13th of June, just before they come, with all the details in it. WILM will be handling all news on the tall ships as they come up the river, so you can keep tuned in there. And there'll be, other press releases going out to the other media. So we think with the cooperation of the media, everybody in the greater Wilmington area ought to know what's happening with this fantastic festival.
Mm-hmm. Well, Don, thanks, and Malcolm MacKenzie, thank you. I know you'll both be busy. Don, you and I will take care of the shoreline. Malcolm, you'll take care of the river, and we'll be all set.
It ought to be a lot of fun, Bob. We hope everybody comes out to see it.
We hope you all do come out to see this exciting activity that's happening to our state of Delaware, and it's something that you can all participate in. It doesn't cost any money. Go to the shoreline, to one of the great viewpoints, and check out the tall ships as they come through the 15th to the 27th of this month. Now we're going to go to some short messages, but stick around. I'm looking.